Did you know that 10% of all chess positions end up at this exact moment? To make matters better for black, this is also mate in 10. However, the caveat here is that 30% of players don't know how to finish here and will end up in a draw. My name is Anthony Arena. I am a 2000 rated chess expert from Long Island, New York. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to absolutely destroy the Rook King endgame. Let's get right into it. So the idea is pretty simple. I like to call this square theory. Notice that the rook is covering all of these squares here, and our opponent should not be able to get out of this square. As we continue to play, we will either look to trap our opponent's king on the h-file or the first rank. As you can see, it's our move, and the best way to continue putting pressure on our opponent is to play king f5. The reason why this is a good move is because notice the rook is blocking d4, and also d3. The king is blocking e4 as well as f4. This simply means that the king cannot go forward and it is his move, so he either goes backwards or to f3. Now, in this position, we have something called opposition. This is an extremely important chess term that you must know. And let's break it down. Opposition means that we control these three squares that the king can use in order to move forward, and it is our move, not his. Because of that, we can go ahead and slide our rook down to d3, and notice here, we now take over the third rank. The king cannot move closer to us because we control that territory, and the king will go to e2. Be careful here. Yes, we are winning, but if you play something without paying attention, like king to f4, our opponent will take our rook and we just draw the game and that's it. Instead, just move the rook out of the way to safety on a3. But we do have a problem here. Notice that our opponent's king is closer to our rook than our king is to our own rook. We're going to have to go ahead and fix that. It's our opponent's move and he can play king d2. We start chasing our opponent's king, and notice eventually our opponent gets to the rook on a3. Now he's attacking our rook and we have to defend it. This is easy. Rook h3. Notice now our king is closer to our rook than our opponent's king. And the reason why this is so important is because our opponent's king will have to approach us as opposed to us approaching him. Notice now king c2. Be careful not to make a very common mistake in this position, playing king c4, because actually we do not have opposition here because our opponent can go ahead and play king d2. And if we were to check our opponent here, he can simply go to e3, and all of a sudden we may just go ahead and get that draw. Instead, a very cheeky move that not many people know. It seems like it'd be more obvious, but it's not always the case. Simply just play rook g3. This wastes a move and it forces our opponent to make a decision. Is he going to A, run away from the king, or B, give us opposition? If he plays king to b2, we just go ahead and approach him. Eventually, he will hit a wall and have to come back. Let's say king c2, rook check on g2, and now our opponent is trapped on the first rank. We have done our job, and this will be checkmate very, very soon. Now, in this position, where should the king go? Think about it. There are really three options. Is he going to go to b3, c3, or d3? If you said b3, you're incorrect because, of course, king c1 and we do not have opposition. If you chose c3, you are actually correct because now our opponent has two choices. Choice A, go to a1, or choice B, go to c1. We already know that c1 will end in mate, so king a1. And what we have here is a cornered king. He has no choice but to go to b1. It's going to be a forced move. Be very careful. Just play king b3, king b1, checkmate. Look at this. The rook is covering the first rank with check. The king is covering c2, b2, a2, and this is just checkmate, game over. I cannot stress how important this endgame is. If you have this endgame, you are winning. You need to know how to finish. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comment section. What do you want to see next? I'm here to help you get better at the game that I love, that is chess. These 7 tactics right here are going to be the tactics that you can use in order to improve your game immediately, so go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much. Stay classy. Until next time.